Hey everybody, finally back here at the boathouse and getting ready to help everybody get back out on the water soon. So you're not going to see too much different, except a few of us who need a haircut, obviously. But I've sent out a PowerPoint to everybody. I hope that you have had a chance to look at that. A couple of things we want to make sure happen when you're here is that you make sure that you've signed up properly and have listed the boat you want to take out. We're trying to do 10-minute windows so that there's no problem with people getting too close to each other within the boathouse. What we'd like to see happen is that if somebody signed up, say, for 5:10 in the morning, I know, that's early, 5:10 in the morning, that they can come in, get their boat, and get it out onto the dock, at which point we want the next crew or person to proceed into the boathouse and get their boat and do the same thing. That should allow for plenty of time. Suggest that if you are nearby, you stay over here by where the picnic tables are. Otherwise, you're going to have to wear one of these masks, which I know you're all familiar with. You should have it handy with you, please. If you don't have it, go back to your car and get it, just in case it's needed. Okay, so when we show up here and you get your boat, one of the things we're going to be doing is asking you to complete this self-certification form. And again, that's been on the PowerPoint. But essentially what we'd like you to do is print your name, the day of the week, and the date, and check off just the following: that you've got no sign of a fever or a measured temperature above 100.3 degrees. You haven't had close contact with somebody diagnosed with COVID-19. You have not been asked to self-isolate or quarantine by a doctor or a public health official. You will seek to maintain a 6-foot separation minimum at the boathouse, on the dock, and on the water. And you'll continue maintaining appropriate hygiene at all times. If you're worried about your temperature, I do have this little thing, which you can point at your forehead and take your temp, but hopefully that won't be necessary. It is here, though, in case you need it. Okay, so once you've signed that thing out, and we'd like you to, haven't determined yet whether we're going to have you put it back into this 3-ring binder or whether we'll put it into a little manila folder that'll be here. We'll figure that out next week and find out what's going on. Okay, so you've done all that. Get out in the water and enjoy your row. Come back in. It's really the same thing. Make sure that there's not a crowd around. Get your boat in. What we want you to do, though, is a couple of things. And let's walk over this way. All right. And I think it'll find me. I have this thing called an Apple Genie, which is supposed to follow my face around. All right, so what we're doing is something that we always do, which is to clean our oar handles. And you can do a couple of things. You can either use one of these wipes, and we've got plenty of them in the boathouse, or you can spray it and clean it with a paper towel. Just make sure that you're cleaning particularly the contact surfaces with your hand. And that's not just for COVID prevention. This is something we've always done. I just spent the last 45 minutes cleaning off the docks. Looks like the geese had a party here recently. But we don't want to get any of that stuff in contact with our hands, particularly after we've been rowing. Might have a blister developed and might have some lesions on there you can't even see. Let's keep our hands clean. One of the things we want to do is make sure that we keep these oar handles very clean for the next person especially. Even if you use the same set of oars, it's a good practice. Make sure you clean these oar handles every day. Then we're also going to ask you to put your boat up on slings. I have the hose hooked up over here. We're going to at least wash the boat down. Try to clean off all the contact surfaces. The big one is, though, where your hands are, and make sure that you've got all of that stuff clean. So that'll be your oar handles and perhaps a gunnel, something near your seat on the boat. And just thoroughly rinse the boat down on slings, dry it off, and put it back in the boathouse. So there might be a little bit of a wait out here while people are doing that thing, but it really doesn't take that long. Probably about 5 minutes and you're in business. You'll get everything done. Then the last thing, after you've put everything away, you can either use this hand sanitizer, this alcohol, which is in an aerosol container. You can just spray that off and clean it. Or you can use soap and water, again, using the hose. I've got plenty of liquid soap. So I'm not telling you anything that you haven't heard ad nauseum for the last several months. Good hygiene is always helpful when we're rowing and in other things as well. But let's pay particular attention. We've got a lot of eyes on us right now to set a good example for people. And it really is good practice to just maintain the equipment in a clean state. The other thing I want to do is, I'm going to take this thing off right here. We're going to, if you can look down at the dock, you'll see I put up the cones and the ropes to try to keep the geese off of here. If you're the last crew out, if you're the last boat out for the day, please put it back. Okay, it's pretty easy. It's not a lot of high tech involved with that stuff. So when you're done wrapping that all up, when you first go out, wrap it up, put it in this little container over here. Just leave it up here by the dock on the apron. And then the last person that's going out should reinstall that thing for the day. We don't have a lot of action from the sailing club at this point. It'll just be rowers. So if you know you're the last person out, even in the morning, put the thing back, please. Your dock master will appreciate it very much when he doesn't have to sweep up as much. Okay, thanks everybody. We'll see you next week.